Procrastinating is something we need to stop if we want to take control of our lives. If you're anyone who wants to be productive or achieve something in life, I'll share with you the 7 things I do, and you probably do too, that cause procrastination, so you can get productive and stop procrastinating. Stay until the end for the best tip. Also, if this is your first time watching the channel and you're into self-improvement, subscribe, like this video, and comment what topic you want a video on next. I've been a counselor working in the behavioral health field for almost 4 years now, and I've been a human for the last 21 years. So I've done my fair share of procrastinating and helping people stop procrastinating and be more productive. Procrastination is so easy because we have so many distractions and so many things possible to just take away our attention from what's important. I catch myself doom scrolling sometimes on TikTok or Instagram and doing whatever else that is easier to do than what I really need to be doing. Stay to the end if you want my best resource that helped me stop procrastinating. The first thing I used to do a lot that caused me to procrastinate was not living from my schedule. Big picture, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. So if you don't assign time to what you care about, things tend to creep into your day that you didn't plan for. You end up watching Netflix instead of reading the book that you should have been reading. Some people can be productive procrastinators where they start cleaning instead of getting to the work that they know they should have been doing. The point is, you need to have time slots for everything in one place you can actually see what you have to do. Instead, most people have all they need to do in their head in the morning and forget to do multiple things by the end of the day that they should have done. I use this planner. It's not perfect, but it's what I use right now, and it helps me get mostly everything done that I need to get done throughout my day. If you actually want this planner though, let me make sure that it actually focuses. This is like a really big planner. If you actually want this planner, I'll actually link it to my description, to my Amazon affiliate link, so you can, support the channel if you want to or not. But that's something that's helped me be more productive. The second thing I did that caused procrastination is putting off what was hard for last. When I put off the hard tasks I had to do for last, I somehow always would take to the very last second to complete something I knew needed to be done. If my goal was to get into shape, putting off working out to the end of the day is probably not going to work out the best for me if it's a habit that I'm struggling to add to my life already. Start your day with the most important task and the hardest task first. That way, when you start your day, you start it with momentum. When I start something new now and I want to accomplish something, I'll try to start my day with that newest task or the hardest task I need to build into my habit repertoire. And then that usually will give me momentum during the day and turbocharge my productivity the entire day. The third thing I did that caused me to procrastinate was to try and be perfect. This one is huge. I need you to realize that everyone procrastinates. Literally everyone. There is nobody on this planet that every time they need to do something and get something done, they immediately do it. Don't put it off to the last minute though. If you think self-improvement is about being perfect, you're wrong. It's about being a little better today than you were yesterday. Getting 1% better every day goes a long way at the end of the year. As soon as I stopped trying to be perfect, I allowed a little procrastination into my schedule, which actually made me more productive. It gave my brain a break from thinking I had to always be working on something and allowed my brain to actually rest in between working. The next thing I did that caused me to procrastinate was not telling people my goals. There's a lot of controversy out online about whether you should tell people about your goals or not. Luckily, I don't care what people online think unless it serves me. And I'm telling you guys from my point of view, not telling people your goals only hurts you. There's a change model resource in the addiction counseling space that I found while working as an addiction counselor that helped me a lot with understanding change. The triangle had 2 foundational corners, which were internal and external motivation. And the top of the triangle was insight. If you're watching this channel and watching this video, more than likely you know you have been more productive towards your goals and notice you could have been more productive towards your goals. So you have the right insight. You were motivated enough to watch this video, so more than likely you're motivated internally. But the biggest thing and the biggest reason you may not be changing is because you don't have external motivation pushing you towards your goal as well. When I wanted to buy a rental property, all of my closest friends, I would tell that I wanted to buy one. That way, I would be held accountable whenever I came in contact with them. I told my friends, I told my parents, and I told really close family as well. I told them so they could hold me accountable by asking me about it every time I see them. And so that I wouldn't be the awkward kid if I kept telling them I was going to do something and didn't do it. I did it. I bought my first rental property at 19 years old. And I had been telling them I was going to do that since I was 17. So understand, it was kind of awkward when you consistently tell people you're going to do something, but for 2 years, they don't see you do it. That's a really big thing that has helped me stay motivated, by having people know what my goals are. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it and they hold me accountable. You can also tap into the Mamba mentality and tell people who might not believe you. I was 17 when I first tried to buy my property, like I said, and I told people for 2 years. I'm sure they didn't believe me every time I told them, and I didn't do it as quickly as they thought I would, or as quickly as I wanted to. But I took the possibility of them doubting me as fuel and tried to. I'm not saying this because I want you to think I'm perfect. I'm telling you this because you can use motivations from others in multiple ways to stop you from procrastinating and push you towards your goals and make changes in your life faster. The next thing that causes procrastination is trying to go right into doing hard things. Sometimes when I try to get into completing stuff I know I need to do, it's the hardest in the beginning. More than likely, that's because our body is all dopamine up from doing whatever distraction we were just focused on at that given moment in time. And it doesn't want to go back to working. One trick I learned to make getting back into focus work easier is the 30 to 60 second visual focus rule. This tip is something I learned from Andrew Huberman, who is a neuroscientist and professor at Stanford University. He recommends that right before you get into a focused task that you need to complete, that you spend 30 to 60 seconds focused on one point in particular that you're looking at. Then moving from your attention directly from that point to the task that you have to do and get done. This is something that is based on science, and I found that it works for me when I need to get back into focusing. The sixth thing I used to do that caused my procrastination was overthinking. Sometimes my procrastination would be an emotional issue. Maybe I was sad because of something small which caused my entire day to be thrown off. Sometimes it could just be me being insecure, so I wouldn't go talk to a girl I liked back in high school. I learned to fix this. I needed to do something. And like the Nike mantra, just do it. Yo, editor, add in Shia LaBeouf's Just Do It video without the sound and the captions here so the viewers can see it. Sometimes it's as simple as that when it comes to getting over your emotions. Your emotions aren't always telling you the right thing to do, but sometimes you have to do the total exact opposite of what your emotions are telling you to do. And the last thing that I did that caused procrastination was keeping a distracting environment. I've always understood that it's easier to have an environment that supports your goals and distracts you away from it. But it doesn't always mean that I had a supportive environment when it came to my goals. If you had a house full of snacks, games, and beautiful women and other distractions, and one little room for you to work out in, what's the likelihood that every day you would choose to go to that little room and work out instead of go to the snacks, the game, or the girls that you had in the house instead? This is why people tell you that you're the average of the 5 closest friends. Alex Hermosi is a famous business person online, and he doesn't believe in discipline. He believes in putting yourself in situations where success is the default and the only option. I personally agree with that as well. Think about making your environment more in line with your goals. I make sure that when it's time to write content, I put my phone in another room so I can focus. When it's time to eat healthy and I'm on a strict cut so that I can cut down and weight, I don't put too many unhealthy foods outside of my diet restriction in my home. This right here is the most powerful tip of all, because you think you're going to be able to always pick the right choice in a world full of distractions because you're disciplined. But you have another thing coming if you believe that's the case. If you want to join the Minority Mind Network, where we meet every week virtually, educate ourselves through reading, I bring on guests from my network personally that I have on my podcast, and you can gain different growth and networking opportunities. Follow me on Instagram at It's Kuye and DM me join, and I'll get you started with the team, the Minority Mind Network team. Also, if you want more self-improvement content, check out my self-improvement framework video, The Infinite Game Theory, somewhere on the screen now. Peace.